How are we? What? Oh, it is. My mic is working. Hello, everyone. How are we? Good afternoon, everyone. It is the Game Week 21 deadline stream. Thank you all very much for joining. It is nice to be back. A week and a half since we've had any of the recent bits of FPL or any Premier League football. We, of course, have had 2 rounds of the FA Cup, which have given us a little bit of information, I would say, going forward. The mic is in shot. For those of you wondering what we were going to do, if the streams were going to be different to the videos, if we were going to do the mic in, the mic out, is it going to stay in the videos, is it going to go out or not? This is it. The mic is also in the streams. Fresh trim. I have actually been back I got back about 20 minutes ago from getting my haircut done. Thanks. New year, new mic, new haircut, same mic, new mic position. It's just what a way to, what a way to start the stream. The mic is here. Haircut, the lot. Thank you all very much for joining. Say hello in the chat. We will do the usual round of hellos before we get into the stream. We have got stuff to talk about. We still don't know if I'm going to start João Pedro or Chris Wood. I don't know where my captain is going to end up. If I had to say where I think it is, it's where it is at the moment, but we'll talk about in that moment. Where is my mic? You haven't heard me mention it. So if you're new around here, we don't know where to put the mic. Does the mic go here? Or does it go here where you can't see it? Is it worse quality? Or does it go here where you can see it? And we've been trying to decide over the past couple of videos. And, some might say it's more entertaining than the rest of the FPL stuff I talk about. Some might be true. Some might disagree. But, yeah, it sounds miles better closer. Well, you see, this is it. This is it. Anyway, we're going to do our rounds of hellos. Hello to Roger. Hello to FPL Luco. Hello to Luke. Hello to Angelo. Hello to Varon. Hello to Brad. Hello to all the members and moderators in and supporting the channel. Thank you all very much for your support. Hello to Alec. Hello to Ahmed. Hello to Chris Wood. Chris Wood is in the chat. Chris Wood is in the chat. We have got Chris Wood in the team. It's like having me in my team and having me in the chat, but me's Chris Wood. All right, enough of that, or everyone will leave the stream. Hello to Oliver. Hello to Sid. Hello to Ashish. Hello to Andy. Hello to Sue, Stephen, Mark. Hello to Ahmed. Hello to Zidane, John, Mike, Ivy. It's interesting that Chris Wood has decided to join and watch the streams the week I buy him and the week I move the mic. It's just all going on at the moment on this channel. Tom D. Hello to Reese. Hello to Emmanuel. Hello to Chelsea, Ricky, Luca, Vincent, Gregory, Michael Scott, House, Avnish, George, hello, Tonsa, Lanksh, Kamo, FPL Instinctive predicts 25 to 30 minutes max for João Pedro. Oh, let's have a look what he's saying, shall we? He's not predicting a João Pedro start. My concern is with the Manchester United fixture at the weekend. That is what concerns me. We may well have a look at what we're going to do with João Pedro in the starting 11 during this stream. That is one of the things I need to decide. Yes. So, Let's get in. There've been a couple of super chats. Sell Robinson or Mikalenko to Hall, Munoz or Roll. If you're just playing Robinson, I'm not sure I would do that transfer. Bench one, Mike in shot, Mike out of shot. I would bench Mike out of shot. Much better in shot. Your captain to Bruno. I'm going to do a captaincy poll right at the beginning because it is the big talking point of this week. Captaincy poll. Isak, Salah, Palmer, other. The reason my captaincy is not on Isak anymore is I just am slightly concerned of his minutes and it only being 60 or so. And his just expected points will just drop dramatically. Palmer was fully rested at the weekend in the cup as well. Yes, Palmer was. I also sold Jackson. So it's a really weird place to be in because Palmer, I now want Chelsea to do well because I've got Palmer in my team and captain, but I've sold Jackson. So I don't really know what's going on. Gordon as an outside captain, I don't think I would do it. I think there's a few returnees to Wolves from the injury front. So, yeah. Isak looked fine to me. You're not trusting whatever House says. I think Isak will start, but I still think it's possible he only plays he plays 60, 70 minutes. Salah's away record is a joke. Yeah, Palmer's home record is pretty good though. Palmer's got the captaincy at the moment. My transfers felt very un-Harry-like. I would actually say it feels the opposite. I've been wanting to do those transfers for a couple of weeks. I should have done it last week. It cost me about 10 points not doing it last week. It gets me through 2 extra transfers against 2 extra fixtures against Southampton in the next couple of weeks as well. It allows me to push decisions on what to do with Liverpool a week further down the line as well. So if you can't afford Gordon, I would probably not. I would go Murphy, but I don't think I'd go Murphy. I'd probably go to Ahmad. So if you can't afford Gordon, don't try and just go a different Newcastle midfielder just for the sake of it. I don't believe in I can't buy him, so let's stay at the same team. Like, there are lots of... If you can't afford Gordon, I buy Sarr over Joe Linton, for example. Yes. I think... Oh, sorry, I did move this the other day. Sorry, just updating the benching ranking slightly because João Pedro is dropping down based off minutes. He's currently next to Wood in the ranking. That's what I'm trying to get out. There we go. Arsenal not keeping clean sheets. It is likely that they have a first choice back four for this game in Calafiori and Timber both being available is a boost to them. Dan, 24 months, 2 years as a member. Thank you very much for your support. I hope you're all doing well. Odegaard to Gordon, Bruno or hold. You have Ahmad. Gordon would be my choice. Still like him the most over the next 3 or 4 fixtures. And actually, the fact that you own Ahmad doesn't particularly change that. If you asked me straight Bruno versus Gordon, I would be saying Gordon out of the two. Would I have not been better to hold off on the Wood transfer till after the game week because of the Pedro start risk? Jackson a better sub over Wood. So I needed the money from Jackson to Wood in order to afford Enzo up to Gordon. So if I could have just done Gordon in for Enzo, I would have done it in a heartbeat. But I needed the second transfer. This second transfer. Have I turned off memberships or you can't do it in the USA? I haven't turned off memberships. You can't do it on mobile because I think it's because Apple want to take a cut of everything that goes through any like monetary transaction that goes through. I think Apple take a cut. So you can't do it on mobile, which means you have to then go on desktop to do it. I think might be why. There's been lots of new signups to memberships over the past New Year and last couple of weeks as well in December. So thank you all very much. I appreciate all the support. Thank you all very much. Sar or Ahmad for the long term. So the reason I hesitate is Sar is better if you have to play him every week, I would say. Ahmad plays in the blank in 29, whereas Sar is expected not to play in the blank in 29. That's far enough away that I think Sar is a better pick for the next, if you have to start them. If that player is an 8th attacker, then Ahmad. If that player is probably a 7th attacker for you, then Sar. Eze or Sar, if I had the funds, I think this is so close. Part of me just thinks just go for the cheaper one in Sar. I think it's... Part of me would say, well, go Eze in case Eze does take some penalties. And, if he takes some penalties, he might be on some set pieces as well. That's what makes me think about just going Eze is probably safer. Adam, above average, how are we doing? Let me know who your captain is on, Adam. I'd be interested to know. Sorry, I know you all hate hearing me slurp my drink, and having the mic closer to me is only going to make it worse. So I apologise for that one, and I'll do my best to not do that again. Do I play golf? If so, what irons do I use? I used to play golf when I was younger. And younger. I don't play I haven't played in years. I used to play a lot. Will I sell Semenyo this week for Ahmad? I probably would. Chris would do Semenyo to Ahmad. Yes, there is a chance that Semenyo goes up front for Bournemouth. I don't think he will. I think it will be Kluivert or Atara that goes up front. But it could be Semenyo. But I probably would do Semenyo to Ahmad. You can't afford Gordon. Should you go Murphy, Sarr or Eze? Probably Eze. Konate's going to pocket Wood. João Pedro or Chris Wood. João Pedro or Chris Wood is a decision I still have to make between now and the deadline. Part of me wishes I'd gone Mateta over Chris Woods if I knew I was the chance of... I thought João Pedro would be absolutely fine. I didn't think there'd be... I didn't think there'd be such doubt over João Pedro starting. The only thing with... if I'd have done that, so I bought Gordon at 675. The only reason if I had gone to Mateta over Chris Wood is I couldn't afford Gordon to Burmo without making another transfer. So that's why I didn't go Mateta. And I like the Southampton at home fixture. I really like the Mateta pick though. I really like the Mateta pick. Porro versus Castagna. Wood versus Solanke versus Enzo. Probably Chris Wood. Wood or Rodgers, please. I have Rodgers above Wood in my benching ranking. Yeah. If you are looking for a benching ranking decision, it will be in the top right-hand corner in about 30 seconds time. So if you are looking for benching decisions, there is going to be a lot going on in the top right. It will be up there for you in a moment. Would I sell Jackson to Mateta? I would only sell Jackson if you're going to use the money on something else. Like, I don't think that Jackson to Mateta is worth it this week. Jackson is still a really good striker. If I was just going to have done Jackson to Chris Wood this week, I wouldn't have done it. I just think Gordon is a really nice option for the next 3 or 4. So that's why I did Jackson to Wood, because it allowed me to do Enzo up to Gordon. I just think my squad looks much stronger for the next few weeks with that double move made. So if you've got Jackson, like, would I do Jackson to Mateta? No, I don't think I would, unless you're going to use the money for something else. Is Bruno not the best captain? Southampton are by far the worst team in the league. Quite possibly, but we have seen Manchester United struggle. We have seen Manchester United struggle in games where they're expected to have create chances and expected to have a lot of the ball. And we've seen them to do better in games where there's counter-attacking. I also have double Manchester United. I already have double Manchester United, so... I'm not sure I want the captaincy armband on it as well. I have considered Bruno. He actually has the vice-captain at the moment, but I don't think it will matter. So, yeah. Martinelli to Fernandes or Roll. I probably would do that, yes. I prefer Gordon to Fernandes, but I would go if you've already got Gordon. Sell one, Chris Wood or Robertson. I'd sell Robertson. Yeah. Am I confirmed on Palmer? No, I'm not. Do I think Dan Burn will start? He's predicted to be the one that misses out. But it might be Botman isn't fully ready. They might just give him... I expect Botman doesn't play midweek and weekend coming back from injury. They're there Wednesday and then 12:30 kickoff, but let's see. João Pedro to Mateta for free. I don't know what that money could do for the rest of your team. I like Mateta more than João Pedro this week, but generally... Generally, I like João Pedro as a better long-term hold. Sorry, it shouldn't be that way around. The captaincy ranking should have Palmer at the top. It's basically the same as it was in the video yesterday, apart from Isak's drop down just because of his minutes and what Eddie Howe said. I fully expect Eddie Howe to not be completely honest, and I expect Isak to start this game. But do I trust it enough to put the captaincy armband on it? Probably not. That's probably where I'm at. So I've got two decisions to make between now and the deadline, which is captaincy and it's João Pedro versus Chris Wood. If we don't think... João Pedro is going to start, then I need to start Chris Wood. That's where we're at. The deadline is 6 o'clock. Yes. Not 6:30. So don't miss the deadline. It's normally, if it's a Friday night, it's 6:30. It is 6 o'clock, which is what the countdown timer should be counting towards. 1 hour 38. Yeah, it is. Too many red shirts. I think I've got a nice mix of colours. Did I see FPL Instinctive's thread about João Pedro and predicted lineup? Yes, I did. But it also presumes that Welbeck is ready to start. That's the only thing with that. And there's a few other players. The issue with it is there's so much uncertainty in that team. Like, he's got... Oh, he doesn't actually have the wingers predicted to start. Yeah, it does have João Pedro not predicted to start. I did see that. Start Enzo or Rodgers. Definitely Morgan Rodgers. Rodgers is by far a better pick than Enzo this week. Mika, who to bench? Enzo or Wood? Bench Enzo, definitely. Robinson or Mikalenko? Robinson over Mikalenko. Gian, little bit of a benching headache. You need to bench 2 of the following: Sarr, Pedro, Isak, Cunha, Rodgers. You need to bench 2 of those. João Pedro, definitely. Sarr. And then it's Cunha versus Rodgers. I'd bench João Pedro. If you're in a benching decision this week, João Pedro's got to be up there to bench, right? Because of his uncertainty. And Cunha versus Rodgers is so close. I probably would play Cunha just because he's on pens and stuff like that. And he's so talismanic to them. I'd probably bench Rodgers and João Pedro. Bench 2, Jackson, Solanke, Robinson, Semenyo. Probably Robinson and Semenyo, and play Solanke and Jackson. I have a lot of people asking about Wood versus Rodgers. I have Rodgers above Chris Wood this week. I think it's pretty close. I think they're like next to each other in the ranking, or like a few apart, but I do have Rodgers above Chris Wood this week. Henderson of Crystal Palace, who's anyone's got him, he's been pictured back in training. It should be absolutely fine. Captain Gordon, I personally am not that keen on that. The underlying data isn't that strong for it. So, I mean, I'm on Palmer at the moment. I've got like $500,000 in the bank left. I can show you my potential transfers over the next few weeks. And there's a few reasons. If I decide to go Gakpo, these transfers I've made this midweek won't actually be that great. They'll be very needing returns in the short term. But Adam, I don't play for points are fun. Points are fun. People say, oh, you should captain Bruno. He's fun. But points are fun. But I agree, Bruno has the ability to be very fun and do a lot of points because that would be fun. I just think with double Manchester United midfield, that is enough for me, really. His open play threat is like, he's going to be that owned. You're not going to be that highly owned. And I don't really want to have to expect Palmer and Salah to both blank this week. It's just not a very fun way of playing the game. I know Bruno cap is fun, but hoping that Palmer and Salah both blank, and effectively probably Isak as well, effectively wanting your 3 best players in your team to all blank, just doesn't feel like a very nice way to play the game. So I'm happy having Bruno and just having him there and not needing to captain him. I'm not sure I'd captain Isak just based off the potential minutes, especially if you have Gordon. I think having Gordon and Isak is enough for that game for me now. Double Palace attack or Wood Visa instead of Mateta. I mean, for the next few weeks, double Palace attack is absolutely fine. Long term, over the next couple is Wood. Longer term is probably Visa. Captain punt on Foden is probably a not for me. Like, I'm not a big fan of City at the moment. I actually think Brentford might beat them this midweek. So, not that set on it. Not that set on it. How is the mic, by the way? Everyone joining since the start, you may have seen that we've decided to put the mic in shot for the streams as well as the videos. Yes. Yeah. That's what we've decided to do. That's what we've decided to do. I'm sure you're all really excited. I'm sure you're all really excited for it. Play Iwobi or Chris Wood? Chris Wood. Best mic review channel? Yeah. I'm going to start a second channel and talk just about where my mic is. No, I'm going to start a second channel called FPL Harry's Mic, and then talk just about FPL on it. That's what I'm going to do. I think that's a top comment from this morning's video, that I should start a second channel and just talk about and call it Harry's FPL or Harry's Mic and talk about FPL on it. Because I don't talk about any FPL on my channel. I just talk about where my mic's going to be. Jackson or Isak? I mean, you've got to start both. There's no way you've got a strong enough bench that you're benching one of Jackson or Isak. Isak over Jackson, but you've got to find a space to play both. They are in the top players this week. Am I not going to captain Salah? I might do. It's between Salah and Palmer for me this week. It's just currently on Palmer. Is Gordon over Rodgers worth a hit? It depends what your team looks like over the next couple of weeks. If you're having to play like Rodgers away at Arsenal next week, then yes, I probably would. What do I think about Murphy? I expect the flag on Murphy to be nothing of any concern. I fully expect it to be Gordon, Isak, Murphy front three. They do play Wednesday and Saturday morning, but they don't have Harvey Barnes at the moment. So that might make Murphy's minutes slightly more secure. The only real replacement they've got is Almiron. And I don't see him getting loads of minutes. It's possible if the game's won. That's the only thing with a Wednesday, Saturday morning turnaround, is that you might just get 60, 70 from... You might just get 60 from Murphy, but you are paying a cheaper price, so... When will I decide for João Pedro? I should probably... I mean, realistically, Chris Wood... Chris Wood starting versus João Pedro playing 30. I'd rather Chris Wood, but I don't think Wood is a 90-minute man. I think Wood is actually not. He played 87. He's played 75. He has played a couple of 90s, but he plays less sometimes. Like earlier on in the season, he often got 70, 80, 70, 70. But that's not really relevant. It's just how, like, do I think Wood will do that well? He's played quite a few 90s, but I would say like Bruno's a 90-minute man, right? 90, he got sent off, 90, 90, 75, 90, 65, 90, 90, 90, 90. Like generally Bruno's a 90-minute man. So's Palmer most of the time, like 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Salah is a 90-minute man as well, like 90, 90, 90, 86, 90, 90, 83, 90. Like, they're 90-minute players. Chris Wood is not. Like, if I made a prediction, Chris Wood would not finish the game, but Palmer and the others would. The other thing with Chris Wood, he didn't finish the game last time they played Liverpool. He came off early for Taiwo Awanyi to come on. But Chris Wood versus Van Dijk, I mean, you've got to expect that Chris Wood is going to have to do an awful lot of hold-up play in this game. There wasn't really a Henderson update, apart from that apparently the illness in the squad is not there anymore. There wasn't a specific mention of him, but we're expecting Henderson to be absolutely fine. Hold Howson or upgrade to Munoz? I probably would upgrade. Same team as you, but Robinson instead of Munoz. Sold Jackson for Wood. Can't afford Gordon. You have 2 free transfers. Who to buy for Enzo? Murphy? I'd probably go Eze. If I didn't have money for Gordon, I probably would go to Eze. Or you free up money with selling Raya to get Gordon. I did look at that as well. I was 0.1 off Raya to... I was 0.1 off doing Raya to Pickford and Enzo to Gordon. If I could have done that, I would have done it. But I couldn't afford it. And there was just no obvious place to free up that extra 0.1. Like I was looking at doing Fabianski to a 3.9 goalkeeper. Which I could have done. But that was basically 3 free transfers to get Gordon. Now, if I'd have known João Pedro had been such a risk, then maybe. When's realistically he going to play for me? Probably never. But, yeah. Should we play Nottingham Forest defence? I mean, ideally not, because Liverpool are predicted to score a lot. Well, not score a lot, but to score in this game. Would I transfer in Mateta for Visa to play him over João Pedro? If it helps your team next week as well, because Mateta's got Liverpool next week, then yes. With Pope injury and Dubravka sold, Newcastle goalkeeper must be cheap. Is Pope not back? Knee injury, no. Doesn't look like he's back yet. So, yes. Dubravka hasn't gone yet, though. I still feel like he's available. Yeah, if I'd have had the choice now, maybe I would have done Raya to... But I wouldn't be able to afford it now. So I was like, oh, maybe I should have rolled my transfer. But I now would be 0.1 short. Like, if I tried to do... If I'd have waited till today to get update on João Pedro and then done Raya to Pickford, Gordon in, kept Jackson and sold Fabianski, there's no 3.8 goalkeeper. So I wouldn't be able to afford it. So that's actually made me feel a little bit better. There's no 3.8 goalkeeper, I don't think. So, yeah, I couldn't have afforded it after the rise last night. So I would have had to have done it last night, which I wasn't going to do. And listen, as a Chelsea fan who will be at the game tonight, I said on Twitter, I'll be cheering Jackson when he scores his 5th goal. I might not be cheering him when he scores his 5th. Because that might be a bit much. But Chelsea need the points. And I'm all for Jackson helping us get that. But hopefully not 5. Hopefully not 5. Would I captain Haaland if I had him? Yes, quite possibly. Quite possibly. I still think he's below Palmer. He's pretty level with Salah. Cherries win tonight. It's possible. I'm hoping not, though. I'm hoping without a main striker, Bournemouth are going to struggle to hold up the ball quite a lot. They might struggle to keep hold of it. So... Oh, I want Jackson to score as a Chelsea fan. Just maybe not 5. Once we're 4-0 up and he scored 4, I might think that's enough. That's all. Who would I play out of Gabriel, Van Heck and Martinelli? The attacker, definitely. Is Lavia back? In the squad, most likely. If he's going to start, we don't know. Kepa can't play against his parent club. Yes, I don't think that's necessarily a hindrance to them. They've got Travers, who's been absolutely fine when he's played. One There we go. One sec. Sorry. What was I trying to get? I was trying to load something. One sec. Fine. I can't even remember what I was trying to look at now. I can't even remember what I was answering or what I was going to look at. If anyone in the chat can remember. Sell Iwobi for Gordon. Yes, I would do that. Oh, I was looking at Travers. That's what I was looking at. Well, kept clean sheet against Everton. Conceded twice to City. Conceded once. Oh, no, wait. Conceded once to City. Conceded once to Villa. Conceded once to Chelsea. Like, Travers has actually had a pretty decent record. Captain Haaland or Salah? Probably Salah. Similar team, trying to close the 40-point gap in your mini league. Captain Bruno, a good way to do it? Or will it make the gap even bigger? I wouldn't differential for the sake of it at the moment. I probably wouldn't captain Bruno yet. I'm not sure. I'm not doing it. So start one defender, one mid. Robinson or Colwill. Robinson over Colwill, and Semenyo or Rodgers. Rodgers. I'd bench both the players playing against each other in Colwill and Semenyo probably. Ahmad captain. Probably not. He might be at wing back, which doesn't make him as good. Southampton won in the cup versus Swansea. They did. Yep. Doesn't necessarily fill me with confidence for them as a team though. But yep, they beat a team in the championship. Yes. If I had Mateta, would I think about captaining him? No. I don't think I would. Don't think Chris would. Rodgers and Jackson to Raul and Gordon. Don't have enough to bring in Visa and don't want to bring in João Pedro. Yeah, I like Jimenez. 5.7 million now. Just pretty reliable for that Fulham team. They're just ticking along very nicely. Sarr to Fernandes for a hit. I don't think I'd be selling Sarr. I think he's a great pick this week. Leicester have conceded an awful lot of chances down that side. So no, I wouldn't be selling Sarr. Especially for a hit. Yeah, I like Jimenez. Van Heck or Gabriel? Gabriel, definitely. 2 free transfers. Martinelli, Kulusevski out. Gordon and Sarr in. Or Bruno Fernandes and Murphy. Probably Gordon Sarr. Actually, definitely Gordon Sarr. Jesus to non-playing, Enzo to Gordon for a hit. No, I don't think I'd do that. I just don't want a non-playing forward. It just ruins. Like, as soon as something happens to someone in your front seven, I don't like it. Captaincy, I haven't decided on. Looking at the poll, Isak is top. Joint with Salah. But there's not much in it. 32, 32, 27 for Palmer. Is Enzo out? Of my squad, yes. Of the game, no. He should play. Did I swap out Jackson? Yes. Jackson to Chris Wood and Enzo to Gordon. Yeah. Do I think Palace will start to play Chalobah? Chalobah should start, yes. The only thing is, Chalobah and Mark Guehi are both linked with moves to Chelsea. It's the only thing that would put me off either of them. 6,000 votes in the poll. Let me know who your captain is. Make sure you vote in the poll. If you haven't already as well, 4,000 of you in the stream haven't dropped a like on it yet. If you could drop a like, that would be great. Also, if you are new, please drop a subscribe on the channel. At 5 o'clock, we do put it to subscriber-only mode. So make sure you're subscribed before then to keep using the chat. And drop a like on the stream. We can try and hit 1,000. We're only 400 away. They're definitely... That's 10%. That's 1 in 10 of you. Would I wildcard if it gets Mateta, Gordon, Raul instead of Pedro, Jackson, Eze? Absolutely not. I wouldn't be taking Jackson and Eze out unless you really have to. 11 months as a member. Learned a lot by watching you. Keep it up. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, as they say on Gavin and Stacey. Cunha, a good differential hold. Yes, the fixtures are just really tough. So you're needing him to perform in games. where you don't expect Wolves to particularly. So I probably would sell him. There's enough other good differential forwards that, like, go Mateta. Feels like a great one at the moment. Buy Mateta this game week or Gakpo in game week 22. I probably would go Mateta because I'm not certain. If Gakpo's your third Liverpool, I'm just not certain that is definitely where you want it to be. A-Tracks, 3 free transfers. Should I do it? Semenyo, Jackson, Solanke in. Gordon, Wood, Jimenez, or João Pedro. Sorry, Semenyo, Jackson, Solanke out. Gordon, Wood, Jimenez, or Pedro. Well, you can't buy Pedro, so it's going to be Jimenez. Gordon, Wood, Jimenez. In for Semenyo, Jackson, Solanke. The thing is, I quite like Solanke from next week, but I probably would do those because I do think they probably upgrade you over the next few weeks. Probably. You want to bring in Mbumo, but I have to sell Trent. I would say Trent is more important for the next 4 weeks than Mbumo is. He's got Forest, Brentford, Ipswich, double, Wolves. And then 26, we have a really nice run of fixtures for Brentford. So let me talk to you through my plans for the upcoming weeks. Yeah, so game week 22, my team will look like this. The plan will still be to roll the transfer. Nice haircut. Thanks. I went just before. It is freshly cut. Like, within hours. I got back half an hour. Like, I got back an hour ago. Yeah. So, yes, the plan next week will definitely be to roll my transfer. Gordon at home to Bournemouth in the early kickoff. Chris Wood at home to Southampton. João Pedro away at United. If we don't think João Pedro is going to play, then Ahmad. Would I play Jackson over João Pedro? Yes, I would. That would be nice. I've got good first subs. Absolutely fine. I don't really have a benching sub, but that is what it is. Game week 23 will be when we start to have a look at Liverpool. I've penciled in Alisson Becker in for Raya as my third Liverpool. I don't particularly. I mean, I could go to a defender. Like, I could do, like, and bench Gabriel against City. It's possible. But I would rather play Gabriel against City than Raya against City. So the plan is Alisson in, as long as Fabianski's keeping his place for the blank. Alisson in. Things look really nice again. 24 is the double. Again, I've penciled in one move of Brian and Burmo in for their nice run of fixtures from 24 to 29. Triple captain is the plan in game week 24. Game week 25, I have penciled selling Chris Wood for their fixtures of Fulham away, Newcastle away, Arsenal at home, City at home, to go to a double up on Brentford in Visa for West Ham away, Leicester away, Everton at home, Aston Villa at home is the plan there. Keeping the rest of it the same. Game week 26, roll. Game week 27, probably roll. And game week 28, we're up to 5 transfers is the plan. I say every week I'm going to roll my transfers and then someone else does points and I end up needing my transfers. But I do plan on saving some transfers. Team news, we don't particularly expect much before the deadline. We might get some Liverpool news, so we'll wait and see on that. What did I choose Wood instead of Weiser for the long run? Are they a close call? Yes. I just feel like I'm going to need Chris Wood for the next few. until 25. I just preferred Chris Wood for this run over Bisa. Also think I might gain a little bit of value on it. So I do like Wisa further down the line, absolutely. He's in my plans. Ahmad or Sarr to buy. If it's a 7th attacker, Sarr. If it's your 8th attacker, Ahmad. Best Jesus replacement, you already have Isak and Jackson. Jimenez or Chris Wood, depending on if you need them this week. Is captaining Jimenez too much of a punt? I would say so, based off he scored 2 penalties last week. And a penalty again at the weekend. It's a lot of penalties. Now, that's why you own him, but yes, I would not be captaining Raul Jimenez. Sell Luis Diaz or hold? I probably would hold if you've got him. Should start tonight. Mbeumo in for Ahmad for a -4 worth doing. Is that Mbeumo? Neither. No. I don't even know which way round it is, and it's not worth a hit either way. Selling Mbeumo and selling Ahmad are 2 things I would not do this week. Fabianski over Raya is an interesting one. I just think Fulham have been pretty strong, to be honest. Spurs, that game could go anyway. I'm expecting Arsenal defensive data is still really strong. So I'm owning Raya and I'm playing him at the moment. That's the plan. Captaincy and what to do with Chris Wood. João Pedro or Gabriel? Probably Gabriel. Your benching ranking says Hall better than João Pedro and Wood, but you always say play the attacker. Yeah, but there are certain situations where João Pedro is a major doubt. Well, not a major doubt. João Pedro is a doubt, and Chris Wood is also playing Liverpool, that I would play Lewis Hall at home to Wolves. You have a similar team as me. I want to see the same moves as you, but 0.4 million short. If I was 0.4 short, I'd probably do Raya to Pickford. If I was short of my transfers. Will Fabianski start? Thinking of a bench boost. I expect so, but it's not guaranteed. I probably would let it put you off the bench boost. Chris, I do apologise. Colwill to Hall or Roll, only 1 free transfer. Probably Roll and just play Colwill, if I'm honest. I might start Wood over João Pedro. It's a decision I haven't made yet. Yeah. Yeah. No Nottingham Forest midfielders. Feel like Gibbs White or Elanga should be a shout. I'm happy with 1 Forest attacker, to be honest. Chris Wood is enough. He's the one on penalties as well. I look stressed. I'm not stressed. I was pondering on what to do with Chris Wood in my head whilst answering questions as well. Because if I see that Brighton lineup and João Pedro's in it alongside Welbeck, I'm going to regret it. But if I see that, I'm basically going to regret it whichever way if I get the decision wrong. Basically. That's how FPL works, right? And I'll regret the captaincy if I get it wrong. I was really happy with my team this week, and now I'm starting to doubt it. But I suppose I'm now happy with my team over the next couple of weeks as well. Be stressed about Mike versus no Mike. I'm not stressed about that. This is the way forward. Clearly. The only thing is with it on the stream, right? So when I do it on the video, this little bit of the mic here goes to the side of the screen. And then it's like it goes off the side of the screen, and that's fine. And it looks nice. The issue is here, because my screen is cut, my green screen cuts here. It then just stops. Rather than going to the end of the screen. I can't even reach, because instead of going over there. Why the swap from Isak to Palmer cap. Just I don't think... If you lower Isak's expected minutes to 60, 70, I just think Palmer's better. If Isak only plays 60 or 70, I think Palmer's a better captaincy playing 90. Sell Evan Nilsson or start João Pedro? I'd probably sell Evan Nilsson. Have you gone 2 attackers in case one of them doesn't play? I mean, I'm only going to play 2 up front because my midfield have good fixtures this week. Why not captain Bruno Fernandes? I don't mind the Bruno captaincy pick. I just have double Manchester United. And if they do well, I hopefully will be in the points anyway. And what's Bruno's ownership going to be? Like 30%? And I'm still happy with a 30% Bruno doing something and a 20% Ahmad. Like, I've got so much ownership in Man United that they have let me down quite a lot. But so have Chelsea, to be fair. I am feeling a little bit like I'm moving the risk around a little bit. Like, I've got double Newcastle. I've got double Liverpool. I've got double United. So I've got Palmer captain. I don't know whether that's a good idea or not. You're starting 2 forwards, possible reduced minutes. Wood is 90. Maybe 80 for Wood, but Bruno is less than 10% right now. I think his active ownership, I can have a look on live FPL. Hang on. What it was last week. Hang on. Oh, that's not how it's... Oh, here we go. Oh, this is top 10k on live FPL. There is a better way of doing it. Hang on. Hang on. I've got to find my way around this website. One sec. Ownership combinations. Here we go. Top 100k. Even though I'm not in it. So his ownership says it was 7%. Was that effective ownership? I can check by looking at Salah. No, so it's actual ownership. Okay, so I mean, in the top 100k going into this week, Bruno only had 7%. And Ahmad only has 15%. That's going to go up, but it's probably not going to be more than 50% combined. Like, let me know in the chat, how many Man United players do you plan on owning this week? 0, 1, or 2? And I imagine most of you will say 0 or 1. So having 2 just feels like enough. It's kind of where I'm at. 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Like, the average is going to be, you have 3. Okay, so there's quite a lot of people on 1, to be fair. A few people on 2. So the average might be 60, 70%, maybe 75, but it's not going to hit 100%. So should I sell Watkins? I probably would be looking to sell Watkins. I expect Durant to start for Aston Villa this week. So can I explain EO? Yeah, so you might see people talking about EO or effective ownership. So EO is the shortened of effective ownership. Basically what it means is for every... So like you all got a 100%. So I've got 100% of Salah, etc. because I own him. But if you captain him, you effectively get 200% of his score. And if you triple captain him, you get 300% of his score. So what effective ownership does is not just have ownership of the percentage of people that own him, it adds on that sort of captaincy and also the percentage of people who are benching him as well. So if everyone owns a player, but everyone benches him, his effective ownership would be 0% because no one's got him in his starting in their starting 11. So effective ownership, what it does is it combines all those things. So if a player is over 100% and you don't captain him, effectively a player scoring is bad for your rank even though you own him. So for example, this week, Salah and Palmer and probably Isak will all have effective ownership over 100%, which means you actually want 2 of the 3 players in your team to blank. So that's basically at it. No one got cereal. Apologies. 2 free transfers, 1.4 in the bank. Same team as you. If I sell Raya for Enzo to Gordon, then 4.4 new goalkeeper, or need to sell Robinson to Munoz to afford Eze. I wouldn't sell Raya to someone that cheap. I'd just go Saar probably. If you can't even get up to the others. Robinson to Munoz I don't hate. Robinson to Munoz and go Eze. I quite like that. Bench 1 and Burma, Ahmad, Gordon or Jackson. Surely not. Surely not. Surely not. And Burma, Ahmad, Gordon or Jackson. Who would you bench out of these? Mbermo, Ahmad, Gordon or Jackson? I'll come back to that in a sec. Rodgers to Ahmad or Bruno. I probably would just go Ahmad and save the money. Bench Jackson and Burmo. It's not Ahmad. I'm not saying Ahmad. Ahmad, Jackson and Burmo. No one's benching Gordon, so we can rule Gordon out. And Burmo, Ahmad or Jackson. I can't bench Jackson either. But you can't bench Burmo. He's on pens. You can't bench Ahmad. He's got Southampton. Oh, it's just crazy. Jackson? Everyone's saying Jackson in the chat. I don't like that. I don't like that. True Fandela, let us know in the chat who your front 8 are. And I'll look out for it in the chat and then we'll answer it. Please let us know in the chat who your front 8 actually are because... Yeah. This is my team up on screen. I have 2 decisions to make between now and the deadline. Chris Wood and João Pedro. It's getting quite dark in here. Chris Wood and João Pedro or captaincy as well. True Vandala, you don't need to super chat it either, by the way. Just type it in the chat and I'll see it. I'm looking out for it. You recommend me to downgrade Ryan to Pickford? Is he better option than Sells? I would just because of the double. Yes. I know the double includes Liverpool, but I would still go with the fixtures that Forest have got coming up. I would go Pickford over Sells, yeah. Watkins to Visa for a -4. Probably not for a hit. I'd take my chance that he starts, but I don't think he will. Sells or Fabianski, I'd play Sells. Enzo to Ahmad, yes, probably would do that. Where would Lewis go on my benching rankings? Very, very, very near the bottom. Below Robinson, probably below Timber, to be honest. Want to know why my captaincy is on Palmer. So, I reckon Palmer has the highest chance of doing really well this week. Bournemouth, of course, playing without a recognised striker in this game. Isak's minutes I'm not certain of enough to captain him. Salah's away record is fantastic, but he is playing what is the 3rd best defence in the league. Here we go. Mateta, the front 8 that we've got to bench one from. Mateta, Jackson, Isak, Salah, Ahmad, and Burmo, Gordon, Palmer. Mateta, Jackson, Isak, Salah, Ahmad, and Burmo, Gordon, Palmer. Does it have to be Ahmad? It's probably Ahmad or Jackson. And Burmo. I think it's got to be Ahmad or Jackson. Mateta, it's not Mateta. Defo Ahmad. It's Ahmad or Jackson. Ahmad or Jackson. I would play Jackson if I had both. Jackson midweek benching? I don't think so. He didn't play the weekend. So I'd bench Ahmad. I hate it, but I'd bench Ahmad. Why'd I start João Pedro? I might change it. Maybe Chris Wood is just the safer one. Out of interest, yeah. The other thing is, yeah, probably should just be Chris Wood based off minutes. If I still had Jackson, would it change my captain? So I was talking about this the other day, and it shouldn't. But who else you own in your team does potentially impact your captain. Like, I've not wanted to captain Palmer recently because I've had triple Chelsea, and it might sway me slightly. It's not going to be the be-all and end-all because, yeah. But it would probably have some impact. I don't know whether it would have enough impact for me to actually move it. If Pedro doesn't play, you'll get Wood off the bench. I just think Pedro will be in the squad, though. Yeah. I just worry that they'll make it worse because they've had him out before. Why not Bruno captain? I just think double up on the United midfield is enough. Personally. How does the bench start work? So, the player in the top left, Trent, is the best, and the player in the bottom right, Timber, is the worst. You play Trent over Mbeumo, and Mbeumo over Jimenez. Jimenez over Sarr, Sarr over Munoz, etc., etc. Visa over Gabriel, so it goes down and then it goes down again. So they're numbered, right? So number 1 is the best, number 17 is the worst. Semenyo, Jackson, Raya to Gordon, Wood, Pickford. Probably. I can't make the list. There can't be any more. I've used up. There's only 17 spots. I need to maybe make the text smaller, but then you're on your phone and it's really small. Henderson's flagged because he had illness, but he's been pictured in training, so he should be fine. Timber is expected to be okay. Not guaranteed that he'll be back, but should start given it's a very big game. But also, I'm not... Yeah. I think... Because he's the second Arsenal defender for a lot of you, that's why he's quite low on the benching ranking. When I think of Murphy for Kluivert, I'm not sure I'd be selling Kluivert, who's on penalties and might be playing up front. Someone in the chat, right, has just put Gabriel injury in the chat, but it's because it's Gabriel Jesus, and Arsenal have just announced that his season is over. Yeah, that was why. I was like, what? That's not what I need. You can't afford the 2 transfers. Raya to Pickford is another one you can add if you need money. Van Dijk and Martinelli to Munoz and Bruno for a hit. Van Dijk and Martinelli to Munoz and Bruno for a hit. I wouldn't be selling Van Dijk with a double in 2 weeks. Nope. I don't think I'd be doing that. Wood over João Pedro, even with Trent in defence. I mean, it's more straight Wood versus João Pedro, really. The ownership of Liverpool defence is like, again, like we can look on live FPL. The ownership of Liverpool defence last week, 60-70%. And it's going to be that again this week. Because I imagine Trent's only been brought in. Doesn't show transfers in. Transfers in. 85,000 transfers in. But he's also had 163,000 transfers out. So he'll probably be about 70% again. Pickford or sells. Pickford over sells. Oh, you can hear my stomach rumbling. Sorry, I haven't eaten that much today. I'm eating at the football this evening. And maybe I should move my mic away. I didn't think about that as a thought process. Start Jacob Murphy, João Pedro, or Jackson. I'd bench João Pedro. Three transfers to use. Sell Semenyo, Jackson, and Raya for Gordon, Wood, and Pickford. Semenyo, Jackson, and Raya for Gordon, Wood, and Pickford. I think I answered this. Yeah, I would. No pun intended. Why has Isak fallen in captaincy? The update today wasn't positive enough, really. So I moved the armband off him. Do I think Murphy will play? Yes, I do. Chalobah or Watkins, bench one. I mean, I'd play Watkins over Chalobah, but I'm not certain Watkins starts. But he'll get 30 and be on pens while he's on the pitch. It's probably better than Chalobah. You want some googly eyes on my mic facing the camera. Start decorating it. Start Wood or Solanke. Probably Solanke. There's probably more goals in that game. I just think this is probably the sensible play. It's just the Man United game on Sunday just puts me off João Pedro. What can I do with Lewis? You have Robinson, Gabriel, Salah, Palmer, Ahmad, Gordon, Sarr, and Jackson, Isak. I mean, Rico Lewis, sell him to Munoz or Lewis Hall is probably the most likely. That's probably the best thing. Why not captain Gordon? I'm happy enough with double Newcastle. He's also not on penalties, which is also just a nice little bonus for them. For a captain always. I rarely captain a player that's not on penalties. Just because you have that bonus of it potentially being that. Start three, Ahmad and Burmo, Wood, Pedro, Gabriel. Bench João Pedro. Probably bench Gabriel and play the three attackers if you can. Jackson is a star in the benching ranking. He's too high up. He's at the top. Trent down to Konate and João Pedro up to Mateta. I wouldn't do that. I still think if Trent starts tonight, you'll want him. And you'll want him for the double as well. So, the... how long have we got? It's now 45 minutes. So the chat is going to go in subscribe only mode. You literally would have subscribed for 1 second to be able to start using the chat again. So make sure you're subscribed. Also, if you haven't already, we're really close to 1,000 likes. So if you could drop a like on stream, that would be fantastic. We've just hit 1,000 likes. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Should I keep double Liverpool defence or move from Trent and Van Dijk to Munoz? I'd keep them for the double. I'd keep them both for the double. Is Bruno a good Camsey pick? Yeah, he's got Southampton at home. It's not bad at all. I think he's 4th in my ranking for the week. Yep. If you told me you were captaining Fernandes, I have no problem with it. I mean, I do wonder about it, but... Your Gavardio, Gabriel, Castagna, Vandenberg, O'Shea in defence. Would I do O'Shea to Munoz for -4, start Wood, or... Would I do O'Shea to Munoz for -4? Yes. Start Wood or Rodgers, and why? Rodgers over Wood. Palmer over Isak for minutes. And I probably would buy Munoz. Yes. It was something I was literally about to look at. Has Fernandes hauled much? Not really. Fernandes has only had 2 double-digit returns all season. Now, I know that's because United have not been great. And their hauls have come at home to Leicester and Chelsea. But, like... Nihil, thank you for joining as a base tier member. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much. Yeah, but... I mean, if we're going on double G at hauls, we'd captain Salah every week, right? But he does it. He does it in his sleep, this man. Home, 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 away, home, away. Salah away from home, though. I don't want to look at this. It's going to scare me. Oh, look at this. Can you really not captain a man that's points looks like this? Can you really not captain this man? Man United... I mean, like 7, 16, 9, 21, 5, 18, 13, 13, 14, 9, 10, 12, 3, 10, 6, 2. This is what we're clinching on. This is what we're holding on to. This is what we're holding on to. This is what we're holding on to. This one game. He's only blanked twice this season. He's only blanked twice this season. Oh, it feels like a really silly idea to back against a man who's done this. Did I click save on that? Yeah. The other one that, of course, it could be is Palmer. He's blanked more times, but he's also got 153 points. Isn't Salah on like 200 already? 209. Is the revenge factor, or do Forest so focused on getting a draw out of this game? Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it either way. I don't like this part of FPL where I've got to hope one of my players blanks. Can we not just all agree to captain someone? Can we not just all agree to captain the same person, and then we can just be boring and celebrate everyone's points? Let me go and check if anything's cracking off on Twitter. doesn't look like anything. Let me see. Not much really going on. Not that I can see anywhere. Why can I captain Palmer over Isak? Just, I don't think Isak plays more than 60, 70 minutes tomorrow night. I've got double Newcastle attack anyway. Yeah. Like, he's been great, but there's not loads of, like, double returns in here. There's a few. It's just minutes based on Isak, really. I'm confident it's not Isak. Isak is ruled out. Are my bias due to... if anything, my bias is not to captain Palmer because I've sold Jackson and I've sold Enzo Fernandez. So realistically, to be fair, Enzo was never getting in my team anyway. So, yeah. Seven, 7, 8, 14, 11. I just think, I mean, Isak's not bad, but it's just the minutes. Like, is it possible that they just don't start Isak? No, I think Isak starts, but there's got to be some element of doubt that Isak might just not play. Like, his expected minutes in this game has got to be 60. A 80% chance he plays between 60 and 70, and a 20% chance he plays less than 60. It's just feels too much of a gamble to captain him. That's why there's no captaincy on Isak. Isn't Enzo a better option now Lavia's back? We don't know if Lavia's going to start. Your dad is Eddie Howe. Welcome to the chat, Eddie Howe's son. Newcastle have a short turnaround between 21 and 22. Eddie Howe might not risk Isak given the lack of recovery time. If there's any doubt on Isak, that's my concern. They play 12:30 on Saturday. It's not going to be Isak. I'm certain I'm not captaining Isak anymore. It's Palmer or Salah, really. A small part of me wants to go Bruno, and the chances are Bruno will just get the captaincy armband so I can feel that I was close to doing it. But armband will be on Palmer or Salah, I think. Rodgers out for Bruno, Raya to Pickford for a -4. It does get you a goalkeeper for a double. It does get you Bruno. I probably would do that. Or just do Rodgers to Ahmad if you don't have him for one for free. In his last two returns, Isak played 70 minutes. But the difference is, this is true. The last two times he didn't play 90 is when he got his biggest returns. But that's different. That's because they chose to not play him because they'd already be 4-0 up at the time. Whereas this is, if we get to 60, 70, like in those games, if they got to 60, 70 and it was 0-0, he would still, like Isak would have played 90. But on Wednesday night, if they get to that and it's 6-7, if it's that he hasn't hauled, like he's coming off, I think. So Havertz or Wood to start? Probably Kai Havertz. I mean, as much as Kai Havertz missed an awful lot of chances the other night, and Arsenal are not great defensively, a Gabriel Jesus injury is great for them. They are linked to a few strikers, but you've got to expect Havertz to play 90 minutes every week, every game now. It's just going to be Havertz 90, 90, 90. So he's suddenly quite a good pick. Matt, let me take a look. Start one of Pedro, Rodgers, Lewis. Rodgers. Matt. Wiggins. Let me have a look. Start Enzo or Elanga. Probably Enzo. Probably Enzo. What do I think about my team? Sanchez, Munoz, Hall, Robinson, Ahmad, Sarr, Palmer, Gordon, Burma, Isak, Raul, Bench, Wood, Aina. Your team looks really nice. I'd probably play Allison over Sanchez, but it's close. Don't think the budget to bring in both Wood and Gordon unless I sell Jackson, Rogers, and Raya and bring in Pickford. I don't love it. I mean, it does get you a goalkeeper for the double, so I don't hate it that much. I almost bought Pickford last week. Part of me wishes I had done, because I could have done Gordon for free then. But I could have done Gordon with one move, but I would have had to have done it a while ago. Is Gordon an awful captain? No, because if there's no Harvey Barnes, so the chances are Gordon will play 90 minutes unless something else is wrong with him on Wednesday. And when Isak goes off, Gordon's on pens. So it's weird. The situation has changed. The Isak injury the Isak minutes doubt has made, I would say, Gordon a better option because he goes on penalties for some of the game. But it now means that I'm captaining Palmer, who is in the same game as Jackson, who I have just sold. Henderson or Fabianski, I'd play Henderson. Gabriel to Trent now with one free transfer, no arse defence after that, or wait to do Sarto and Berman 23 and skip Trent for the double. If you're not getting Trent for the double, you're not getting Trent at all, I would say. Another opportunity might present itself to get Trent. I'm not sure you need to force it this week. I'd wait. Let's see how Trent gets on tonight. If he looks like he's back to his best and he's going to keep his spot, then Gabriel to Trent for the double is fine. If not, like Sarto and Burmo. It might also be that you get through the double with Trent and then you downgrade Trent and do Sarto and Burmo after that, because Burmo's fixtures really start from like 24-25 anyway. So I'd just wait on that. Start Rogers or Cunha. Rogers or Cunha. My initial reaction was Rogers with the fixture. Rogers or Cunha. I mean, you probably would say, if you're not playing Cunha, you got to sell him, is what I would say. But I'd probably play. I mean, he's on pens and stuff like that. He's not guaranteed. He should be though. I would probably play Rogers over Cunha if I'm honest. But main reason for Wood over João Pedro, the predicted lineup for one of the Brighton accounts on Twitter doesn't have João Pedro in him. Yeah, I just think the risk of minutes to João Pedro is too high. I'll take this. I'll take the 80 for Chris Wood, even at home to Liverpool. You never know. You never know. I can be a full Forest fan in that game. I just think I'll take that. Like, realistically, I feel like predicted minutes for João Pedro has got to be 45. Because you've got a 50% chance, it feels like he plays 60-70. And you've got a 50% chance he plays 20-30. So would I take João Pedro 45 minutes away at Ipswich or Wood 80? I'm probably going to take Chris Wood, I think, in that situation. Is there a chance for you to make the wildcard team for me? I used it and don't have a clue what to do. If I was on wildcard, I would probably go... you'd need two goalkeepers. So it would be Sells, probably, and another goalkeeper slightly cheaper. In defence, I probably would go Trent, Gabriel, Munoz, and two cheaper ones who are likely to play for the long run. Yeah. Up front, Isak, Wood, probably Jimenez, Gordon, Ahmad, Salah, Palmer, and whoever you can afford with the final spot, hopefully in Burmo, but you might not be able to get there. Something like that. Raya or Sells this week? Probably Raya. As much as me not captaining Salah, I probably expect them to score. Trent's a rubbish shout when he's going to be leaving. Oh, well, he's not. I doubt he's going to be leaving in January. So I think he's fine until then. Let's see if he keeps his place tonight. I expect he does. Start Wood or Jackson. Have you a name for your mic? I don't have a name for my mic. If you've got Jackson, you definitely start him. There's no world where we've got Jackson, you should be benching him. I've sold him because I needed money because I really like Gordon for the next 3-4 fixtures. But if you've got Jackson, you have to play him. And I wouldn't sell Jackson to Wood just to sit there. I only did it because I needed the money. It's the only reason. It's the only reason. Watkins or Wisa? I play Wisa because I think he'll start, and I don't think Watkins will, personally. Is Cunha still a good pick? I wouldn't be buying Cunha. The fixture's not good enough, no. Is Neco Williams good long term? Yes. I wouldn't be buying Williams tonight, though, because I'd want to make sure he starts a fixture like this before buying him. Their fixtures also not coming up and not great from a clean sheet point of view. But, yeah. Hazes to who? Gakpo, Mateta, or other? I like Jimenez, but Mateta probably if you've got the money for it and it doesn't block future moves. He's slightly more expensive than some of the others, though. Or Chris Wood if you don't own him, of course. Bench Wood, João Pedro, Rogers. João Pedro, probably. I would just take the minutes you know you're going to get with the other two. Let me check on anything. Liverpool lineup related. I don't know if there's anything that could come out that would make me want to captain Salah. Like, yeah, I don't know. I expect it to be Diaz, Gakpo, Salah. But I don't know if something got confirmed that it would change my mind on Salah. I don't think so. Rory, 29 months. What's the latest on Pedro? Conceive now starting Wood over him. Just that I'm not certain he'll be played Thursday night and then Sunday against Man United. That's my theory with João Pedro. That's my theory with him. And it might be that there was no injury in the first place, which is also possible. In which case he should definitely start, but I don't know. I'm not locking this in. I think it will stay like this, but got 3 free transfers, 0.3 in the bank. Jackson to Jimenez, Enzo to Gordon, Robinson to Hall, Jackson to Visa, Raya to Pickford, Enzo to Gordon. I probably prefer the Raul Jimenez route, to be honest. Which should I bench? Visa, João Pedro, Iwobi, Sarr. Probably João Pedro. Almost all of Isak's goals have come in the first 60 minutes. Interesting. I don't know that. I don't have the data of it. But the only thing with that is 1 week they won't. Right? And it might be this week that they don't. Aston Villa announced Donyell Malen, have they? It's a great bit of business, that. Yeah, it's a great bit of business. Szoboszlai starts. Who's better for Szoboszlai, Elliott, or who's better for Salah, Szoboszlai or Elliott? I feel like Elliott, but I might be completely wrong. Start Hall or Iwobi? I'd probably go Lewis Hall over Iwobi. Do I personally think Isak starts? Yes, I do. Sells or Fabianski? I'd play Sells. Rodgers or Chris Wood? I would play Rodgers over Wood. Yep. Any differentials I fancy? A lot of them play for Crystal Palace away at Leicester this week. Sarr, Eze, Mateta are all really nice. Szoboszlai is better than Elliott currently, yes, but I'm interested to see does Salah have better output with one on the pitch? Fine. Elliott's been poor. I saw Elliott being linked with a move away, which I thought was sad, but I might be completely wrong. Forest beat Liverpool. Well, yeah, but the thing is, you can write a narrative any way you want for any of these captains. You could say, well, Forest beat Liverpool earlier on in the season. It's not going to be an easy game. You can also say, well, Forest beat Liverpool earlier on in the season, so Liverpool will be out with a vengeance to get the win over them this time. You could say, well, Forest are at home this time, so they'll be more likely to attack, so there'll be space in behind. Forest are at home, and they'll know what a big win or a draw could do for them this season if they get a point here. You can write a narrative either way for a lot of things this weekend, depending on what you want it to tell. That's the issue with a lot of the captaincy options this week. Like, Palmer has the most likely chance of a big haul over Salah this week. Palmer is playing a Bournemouth team who are massively underestimated, and they're away from home, so they're just going to set up shot to defend. There's just a lot of stuff that you could say that is all true. Like, none of these things are not true. None of these things are not true. Why Palmer? I just think he's more likely to get a haul, I feel like. But I might be proven wrong and Salah will haul against Forest. Do we know if Isak starts? No, and the game's not until tomorrow night, so we won't know before the deadline. I expect Isak to, and I probably expect João Pedro not to now after the update we got this morning. Sorry, I'm just seeing. I commented on Ross's stream. No, he's not listening to me. Sorry. Start Diaz or João Pedro? Diaz, because he should start. Is 800k rank bad at this point? No. And the other thing to say is rank's going to be really difficult to try and understand whether we're doing well or badly with the assistant manager chip, because it's by far the most powerful chip. So if you've played the assistant manager chip, you should be doing better than people who haven't. So, yeah. Ahmad, first Premier League hat-trick, loading, let's hope. Is João Pedro not playing? His predicted minutes is probably 45. He could start and come off early. He could not start and come on. I'm just going to take Chris Wood, I think. It feels good to have Chris Wood back in my team, I have to say. Would I rather burn a transfer and play Colwill or transfer him to Mazraoui? I'd rather sell Colwill than burn a transfer. I'm not sure Mazraoui would be top, but yeah. Laura, I do apologise. Let me have a look. Start Wood, Jackson. Jackson and Rodgers to Wood and Gordon for a hit. No. I wouldn't do either of those. My computer is freezing again. Anthony Robinson or Gavardio. Robinson. Bench Rodgers or João Pedro. João Pedro. Start Henderson or Fabianski. We did. Wilson to Bruno for a -4. I'd sell Wilson, yeah. Would I sell Mbermo to Gordon? Which bench, Wood or Jackson? Don't bench Jackson. If you've got Jackson, you definitely play him. Mbermo for Gordon. No, I wouldn't sell Mbermo to buy Gordon. If I still had Jackson, would I still captain Palmer? Maybe. Probably. It would impact my decision making a little bit. I'm not going to lie about that. Like, it probably would. But I probably would still do it. Salah's away form is so hard to ignore. The only thing I'd say on that is, like, at home, right? They've played at home. Bournemouth, Forest, Brentford, Chelsea, Brighton, Villa, City, Fulham, okay, Leicester, and United, right? Their away games have been West Ham, Spurs, okay, Newcastle, Southampton, okay, Arsenal, Palace, Wolves, United, Ipswich. Like, the away fixtures they've had are just better than their home fixtures. It's like people say with Brentford that Brentford were bad away from home. And then suddenly they play Southampton and they beat them 5-0 and they play Arsenal and they create nothing at home. It is a lot of fixture base. Their home, do you not think anything different between those fixtures, really? United, they've played both, so that doesn't count. So United ones are equal. Away, he got 17 and at home, he got 7. Home, like Brentford, that is just an easier fixture than Ipswich away. He still did really well at home. Forest, okay, the team failed to score. Home, away, that's definitely easier than Bournemouth. Okay, that's probably fair. Pretty equal. Southampton is just the easier game. Still did well there. Okay, maybe. I see your point. There's probably not that much in it. 6.2, if you need a striker, I'd probably buy either you go to Raul Jimenez for a couple of weeks or you just go straight to Wisa of Brentford. Anything on news yet? No, nothing yet, apart from Szoboszlai. Yeah, Szoboszlai starts is all we've got at the moment. I will keep an eye on anything for you. We've got 19 minutes to go to the deadline. Wow, the deadline is approaching thick and fast. Sell Timber. I probably would look to sell Timber. Yeah. FPL Redman, is he legit? I don't think so. If you see anything on Twitter that you want me to have a look at, of course, always tag me in it and I will get my tags up and I will have a look at anything that I get tagged in between now and the deadline. So do tag me in it. if you see anything you want me to have a look at. Thank you for FPL Lucho sending it to me. Gordon, Salah, Palmer, Ahmad, Isak, Raul, Starr, Wood, or Murphy. I'd play Murphy over Chris Wood. Your defence is Trent, Gabriel, Robinson, and Nori. Will I sell Nori and buy Munoz and bench Robinson? Probably yes. I probably would. Colin, I apologise. Henderson or Fabianski? I'd play Henderson over Fabianski. Palace have been much better defensively over the past few weeks. Convince you to buy Nunes for the double. I'm not convincing you to buy Nunes for the double. I'm not convincing anyone to buy Nunes ever. Salah has returned every week, but Palmer has outscored Salah in 2 of the last 3 weeks. So you can write what you want. It's close. Salah is the best captain for pretty much every week after this. Like, I'll almost certainly captain him away at Brentford. I might captain Palmer, but I probably won't. Ipswich at home, he'll be captain. He'll be captain in 24. He'll be captain in 25. He might not be captain in 26. He'll probably be captain in 27. No, Palmer at home, Southampton, but there's no guarantee Palmer starts. Captain in 28. He's just got a lot of the weeks he'll be getting the Campty armband. I think Palmer. Is João Pedro not starting? Not guaranteed to. I don't think I'm going to change my team before the deadline. I'm going to make a conscious effort to not make decisions at the last minute unless I have to. And I don't have to. Like, there's not something that's going to change my decision making now. Who do I bring in, Gordon or Bruno? Gordon's a better buy than Bruno. Prefer Gordon. You've just accepted this week captaincy is just down to luck. It is. Absolutely, it's down to luck. And whoever is on the right side will say it was skill. And if I'm on the right side, I'll tell you I did the right thing. But it's a luck-based decision this week. You flipped a coin to decide. What did you end up on? Gvardiol to Hall and bench Gabriel. I'd sell Gvardiol. Yeah. Option sell Gvardiol. My vice captain is Bruno Fernandes. Change your captain to Bruno. I'm going to be happy enough if Bruno does anything. He's not been great for me recently. No, I appreciate you tagging me in questions, but that's only if there's team news. Why no Isak captaincy? Just not expected to play as many minutes. I don't really get the captaincy on Palmer hype. Him and Chelsea have been poor recently. Yeah, they've had a nice rest though. Chelsea are still putting up good numbers. Isak doesn't play until tomorrow, so there is no... Start 2 of these. Odegaard, Visa, and Wood. I probably would bench Chris Wood out of those. How long have we got? 12 minutes, 13 minutes to go to the deadline. Salem, apologies. Your defense is Trent, Gabriel, Robinson, and Nori. Would I sell Nori and buy Munoz? Yes. I feel like I answered that. Apologies if I didn't. I would sell a Nori to Munoz. Yes. Should I captain Isak? He's still a good captaincy, but yeah. Do I start João Pedro or Rodgers? Rodgers over João Pedro. Pick 2, Gordon, Raul or Enzo Jackson. Gordon, Raul over Enzo. Thoughts on that team? It looks really nice, Ruben. The only thing is João Pedro, and if he's going to start, would be tempted to play Smith Rowe over him or sell Smith Rowe and bench João Pedro. Any leaks? No. Only Szoboszlai is the only thing we've got from Liverpool at the moment. Who would I sell Raya to Pickford this game week? Not unless you needed the money for something else. Hall or Gabriel? You have Cunha. I'd play Hall over Gabriel probably. I wouldn't really want to bench Gabriel, but I'd play Hall over him. Well, I'd play Wood over Castagna. Yeah, and Gabriel over Castagna as well. Bench 2, Gabriel, Munoz, Trent, Sarr, and Raul. Munoz, Trent, Sarr, Raul, bench 2. What? Bench 2 of those. If your bench is that strong, you're looking at a bench boost because realistically, it's going to have to be Gabriel because you're not benching Trent and you're not benching Munoz and you're not benching Sarr and you're not benching Raul. Probably one of the Palace guys and you just got to pick one. Maybe you bench Munoz and Gabriel and play Trent, Sarr, Raul because Raul's on pens. You can't really bench him. Ben, welcome as a mid-tier member. Thank you very much for joining. Drop me a message on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll get you added to the relevant chats. Not sure why this is zoomed out. Oh. No more leaks on anything at the moment. Sell Timber to Hall or Munoz. I prefer Munoz as a buy over Lewis Hall. He's just a better pick for a longer period of time. Like Munoz, you can realistically play in every week until game week 29, apart from 24, which is the double where you'll be looking to bench players anyway. So it actually just works really well. It's about the only week you don't want to play him. He's away at United. You could still play him, but you're going to have benching headaches, I imagine, in 24 because it's the double anyway. Start Iwobi or João Pedro. Iwobi probably. I'll just take the minutes. Odegaard to Fernandes. Yes. Iwobi or Martinelli out for Gordon. I'd sell Iwobi to Gordon. Why not Mbeumo as captain? I mean, I don't own Mbeumo, and even if I did, I still don't think I'd captain him at home to City with some of the other options we've got this week. I don't mind Mbeumo as a pick, but I don't think there's a need to captain him this week. Do I think Martinelli will start? Yes. Almost certainly. Start Pedro or Munoz? I'd play Munoz. Villa signing Malin? Yes. Martinelli out for Gordon? I probably would. Sell Timber for Hall? Yes, I would do that. Do I reckon we've done that? Saliba, João Pedro or Robinson? Probably Robinson now. Probably Robinson. Why not Bruno captain over Palmer? I've just got double United. I don't think I trust United enough to go double and captain him. Anthony Gordon buy in place of Martinelli for a hit? No, I wouldn't sell Martinelli for a -4. There's often goals in the North London derby. And Arsenal will still be favourites going into that game. Captain Isaac, you won't regret it. I don't want his minutes, and I've got double Newcastle. Anderson to Munoz, I probably would do that, yes. Not worried about Bournemouth's form. Slightly, but I could be worried. If I captain Salah, I'd be worried about Forest's form. The only person I wouldn't be worried about the opposition's form is Fernandes, probably, but I'm not doing that. I don't think. Which two long-term would Visa and Mateta? Probably Visa and Mateta are the best long-term, but I can't argue with Chris Wood's form this season. If I had still had Jackson over Wood, would I captain Salah? It would have an impact. I don't think it would push me over the line, though. I think I'd still be on Palmer. Listen, the thing I would say, with 6 minutes to go to the deadline, if you are still uncertain with your captain, is to go and captain the player that you, at the end of the game week, will be happiest that you captained, that you have the most trust in, that is your gut feeling. They are so close. And the captaincy debate this week is a coin toss. It's all a coin toss this week. They're all so close. And when you look at the predicted points, they are all so close. I would urge this to be a week where you can go away from Salah if you want to. But if you look at it and you think Salah is the best captain, then put it on Salah. This is a real week to captain the player that you feel like is the best pick. I have no conviction that I think Palmer is much better than the others at all. I don't feel like he's much better than Salah. I don't think he's much better than Bruno. I don't think he's much better than Isak. I can't give strong reasons that Palmer is better than the others, but I also can't give strong reasons that the others are better than Palmer either. So that's where we're at. I would say to captain the player that you are most happy to put the captaincy armband. Gvardiol to haul and bench Gabriel, or roll and bench Gvardiol. I'd sell Gvardiol, to be honest. Wood or Jackson? Definitely play Jackson. If you've got Jackson, you definitely start him. I don't see why you wouldn't play Jackson. Foden to Gordon, I probably would do that, yeah. We got 4 minutes to go to the deadline, so go and start checking your teams in. Just going to take a screenshot of my team, which is officially going to be locked in. 4 minutes to go to the deadline. Thoughts on Ahmad captain? I just think it's not a good idea because I expect him to play at wing back this week. Yeah. Buy Gordon or Mbumo. I'd buy Gordon. Any news on Jota? He's fit, but not predicted to start. It's predicted to be Gakpo and Diaz, but we don't know. Would Xerxes start? I wouldn't be buying any Manchester United forwards. I think he's predicted to start over Højlund, but I think it's pretty close. Any late team news? Literally nothing. Or not that I've seen. And not that I've been tagged in either. Start Visa or Wood. Visa. Gordon transfer in for Rodgers. Yeah, I probably could. Should I sell Timber for Hall? Yes. Is double Palace defence worth it with Munoz and Henderson? They offer different things, so I don't mind it. Jesus to Mateta and bench Wood. I would be looking to sell Jesus, so probably would do that. Yeah. Start Visa or Rodgers. Probably Rodgers. Why am I benching João Pedro? I'm just uncertain that he starts that game. So I'll take Chris Wood, I think. Why aren't I captaining Bruno? I just don't have enough faith in United, and having double up on them feels like enough Aina or Rico Lewis. To be honest, I'd probably play Ola Aina over Rico Lewis. I don't want any City defenders. Why no Gordon captain? I just always would captain a player who's on penalties when they're on the pitch and is going to play 90 and be on them for 90 minutes. It's always a nice place to start. Why not captaining Salah? Salah is up against a Forest team who are very good. Palmer is up against a Bournemouth team who are very good. It's really close. It's really close. Is Fernandes on penalties? Yes, so I could captain Fernandes. But I don't think I want to trust United more than I am. No budget for Gordon. Shall I buy Murphy? I'd probably rather buy a Palace midfielder if you can't buy Gordon. Cunha or João Pedro? I'd start Cunha. Ahmad, Jesus, Timber to Raul, Gordon, Munoz. I wouldn't sell Ahmad this week. You can do the other two moves, but I wouldn't sell Ahmad this week. João Pedro or Odegaard? Odegaard over João Pedro. Why not Isak captain? I'm just slightly uncertain of his minutes. Start Havertz or Wood? Definitely Kai Havertz. Rodgers or João Pedro? Rodgers. Neco Williams for Timber next game week. Yes, definitely something to consider if he starts again tonight. Mikalenko or Colwill? Colwill at home to Bournemouth. Sell Foden for Gordon? Yes, I would. Start Robinson or Cucurella. Cucurella at home. It is going to be almost 1 minute's deadline. Haaland for captain. I don't mind that as well. We are into the final minute before the FPL deadline. Drop a like on the stream. Go and lock your teams in. We're going to not answer any more questions. You've got literally 30 seconds to go and check your teams. Lock everything in. Make the transfers. Make sure the captaincy armband is on everyone that it needs to be. Go and lock in your team. That is all for the questions on today's stream. My team is officially locked in as it has been. We are there. It is the game week 21 deadline. We have another deadline on Saturday. Yes. That is all. That is all for today's stream. I am actually going to have to wrap up the stream really quickly because I've got to go to Stamford Bridge. I'm going to watch Chelsea play and I'm going to watch my captain Cole Palmer play. I'm going to wrap it up there. So we're not going to do Fantasy Challenge today and we're not going to do future planning. Virtually never happens that Chelsea is so soon after the deadline, but sadly they are. So I am just going to have to jump off and run immediately and not wait around for any team news either and hide away from it. Fingers crossed, captaincy is all equal and we all do really well and it's decided by other stuff rather than big swings on captaincy this week. Unless they swing in favour of Chelsea and Palmer. When Jackson scores, please don't all rub it in too much. Because I'm sure he will. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there as I do need to head. Thank you all very much. There will be videos out over the next couple of days. Probably not tomorrow, probably Thursday as we head into the next deadline on Saturday morning. Have a lovely one. Good luck this week, everyone. Please like before you go. Subscribe if you are new so you get a reminder when we do this every single deadline. And I will see you all very soon.